Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vanessa if you are new here. Now this week's video, we're going to have a little heart-to-heart. I'm going to be talking about veiling in this video. I'm not going to talk about the scripture that tells us to veil. That will be in a future video. I'm just going to talk about my experience veiling. A little over half a year ago, I started wearing a veil regularly to Mass. And I'm one of the few women at my parish who actually veil. And when I say few women, I actually mean it's just my mother and I who veil at the parish that we go to, or at least at the time that we go to Mass, we're the only females who veil there. And I always thought veiling was going to be extremely intimidating and it wasn't something for me. I've gone to various parishes and not a lot of women veil. So the idea of veiling seemed so abnormal. No one was doing it, so why was I going to do it? But my mother told me that when she was younger, she used to veil to Mass, and there would be rare occasions where she didn't have her veil with her. So my grandmother would pin napkins to her daughter's heads, including my mother, so that their heads would be covered when they went to Mass. And I saw the importance of veiling just from that little story my mother shared with me. So my mom asked me one day would I like to veil with her, and I went ahead and I did. Now I go to a Novus Ordo Mass. I do not go to a traditional Latin Mass at the moment, but I still veil. And like I said, I'm one of the only women who veil there. And I just think it's such a beautiful thing. When I first started veiling, I thought that everyone was just going to be staring at me, that all eyes were going to be on me, and that I would look weird at Mass veiling. But I felt so welcome to veil. And it's not because anyone welcomed me to do it, but there's this feeling in your body that it just makes sense for you to veil. So you can get veils from various websites like Veils by Lily. You can even find veils on Amazon.com. So it's not hard to access a veil. And I wonder why more women do not do it. So I encourage you to go out and veil like how I veil with my mother, because it will encourage other women to veil as well. I noticed that when I started veiling at a different parish, some people started wearing veils more often. More women started wearing them regularly. And so I think that we need to inspire other women to also veil as well. Now, like I said, I thought I was going to be intimidated by veiling, but it's actually been a very fulfilling experience. It's made me take the Mass way more seriously than I had in the past. It made me understand the process more, and in a future video, I'll go into why we veil and where in scripture it tells us to veil. And once you read that verse, your mind will be blown. You're like, wait, how did I ignore that verse for so long? Now I want to veil. But I really encourage you all to go ahead and veil. It's such a beautiful thing to do. I veil at every Mass I attend, regardless if I'm the only one. Now the veil I wear, the color I wear is white. I was wearing black for a little while, but a lot of people were telling me that that's for married women, and I thought maybe that's why I was single. That's why I can't get a boyfriend, because I'm wearing a black veil, and maybe the Catholic men assume I'm married. So I started wearing the white veil since I am single. I am still single and not married, and single without a boyfriend, so it hasn't worked. Sometimes I make a joke with my mother that I'm wearing the white veil to Mass to tell the Catholic men that yes, I am single, you can date me. I don't know, it's just some humor that I make out of it. But I wear this beautiful white veil, and I bobby pin my veil to my head. That was another concern of mine, about how was I going to get the veil to stay on my head and not slip around. So what I do is I take the veil and I pin one bobby pin here and two bobby pins right here. So one here and one here. And my bobby pins are black on a white veil, but it doesn't really look weird. I don't find anyone staring at the fact that my bobby pins are visible. So there were so many excuses I was making for myself as to why I wouldn't veil, that it would slip off my head, or you'd see my bobby pins, or I'm the only female doing it, or I'm so young, that's for grandmas. No, it's for us as women. We're supposed to veil in the church, and I really encourage you to do so. Now, there's a bunch of videos on the internet of women giving their testimonies of veiling. I don't want females to think that they're alone in it. I don't want people thinking that this is some abnormal thing to do. I want this to become regular and typical, like how it was for my mother and how it was for my grandmother, because we're taught in scripture to veil, which we'll talk about in a future video. But I just encourage you as a female, or if you're a male, encourage the females in your family to veil at Mass. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know what it is, when you put on a veil, you just become 100 times more prettier. So I really encourage you to veil if you don't already, or I encourage you to encourage someone else to veil if they don't already. I'll provide some nice links down below where you can buy veils, such as on Amazon or Veils by Lily. I also provide other veil testimonial videos in the description bar below, so I suggest checking that out. I know this video was kind of short and kind of all over the place, but I thought that it'd be very important for me to explain, well, I will explain later on, but I thought it'd be very important for me to have this heart-to-heart with you and say, if you're a Catholic woman watching my channel or came across this video and you're considering veiling, do it. You're not alone. I am 22 years old. I started veiling when I was 21. And it's just a beautiful thing. You're never too old to veil. You're never too young to veil. So go ahead, get yourself a veil. There's many outlets to get one, and they're not expensive whatsoever. Wear that veil to Mass. Make veiling the norm again. We should be veiling, and I really encourage you to do it. So guys, if you like this heart-to-heart, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, you can give it a dislike. Please check out the description bar for links and also ways that you can contact me. If you like me and you want to see my journey through my faith, please hit the subscribe button. And I really appreciate all the love and support you guys provide me and give me. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.